first pictures coming in of that Mi-17 chopper crash that took place, where two IAF Mi-17 medium lift choppers collided with each other. There was a mid-air collision and 6 IAF personnel have been reported dead as of now. Those are first pictures of the two choppers that have crash landed near Jamnagar in Gujarat. So that's on your screen, the first pictures of that chopper crash coming right to you here on Headlines Today. Now the word that he's getting is that 8 actually have died in that chopper crash that took place. So 8 people were reportedly on the choppers. None of them seem to have survived. All 8 Air Force personnel on board those 2 Air Force choppers were killed in that mid-air collision in Jamnagar in Gujarat. The tragedy took place while the 2 Mi-17 medium lift helicopters were on a range firing mission. The mid-air crash took place at the Sarmat village near Jamnagar. It's yet to be known though what led to this horrific incident. Both the choppers were armed and the choppers were from the tactical training school and not from the Jamnagar base itself. Inquiry has been launched to ascertain the reason of the crash. But those are first pictures on your screen of the crash. What we'll do now is go across to Shiv Arur, our defense correspondent, who joins us with more details. And Shiv, what's the latest that you're getting?
Well, the latest, Siddharth, is that 6 people have been confirmed dead. There were 8 people on board both choppers, a total of 8 people, 4 on each of those helicopters, 2 pilots plus 2 training crew that were part of this range firing mission at the Sarmat range, which is about 17 to 20 kilometers outside of Jamnagar Air Force Station. Now, both these helicopters had taken off from Jamnagar, but like you rightly pointed out, they did not belong to Jamnagar. They were from the tactical school from elsewhere, and they were on this range firing mission. Now, the details at this time of precisely how the accident took place are a little sketchy because remember, both we don't have the identities of the pilots just yet, because obviously next of kin have to be informed before we can release their names. But we do know that the crew on both helicopters were highly trained professionals. They've flown several hundred hours before on both these helicopters, and they were very proficient flyers. So which is precisely why the Air Force is currently it has ordered a court of inquiry, and there is a degree of confusion right now about how a mid-air collision could have happened. Because remember, helicopters like the Mi-17 and especially the ones that were flying, which were of a new build batch, they have a proximity warning sensors in case aircraft come too close together. And apart from that, also when aircraft are flying in close formation, there is always a safety margin, Siddharth, about 15 to 20 feet that is always maintained, in all directions, in all dimensions, either flying below or above or side to side or diagonally. There's always an error margin that is always maintained, just in case there is something goes wrong, or there is a loss of control and there is a sudden, abrupt movement in any of the axes, to cater for that kind of eventuality. Now, it appears from our sources, we're hearing from our sources that there may have been some kind of pilot error. Now, this can only be confirmed once the court of inquiry finishes its job. But prima facie, looking at what may have happened, the air traffic control, the ground control communications, plus what the pilots were saying, it appears there may have been a communication gap or some kind of pilot error that led to this catastrophic collision, which led to complete loss of control in both helicopters. They were flying at quite an altitude, which is why they went down pretty hard. They crashed. Both helicopters are almost completely destroyed after they impacted the ground at the Sarmat range. And it was signaled to the Air Force only after villagers at the Sarmat range apparently witnessed the 2 helicopters going down in a ball of flame. There is a rescue operation that is currently on. We do know that helicopters have been dispatched from Jamnagar Air Force Station to inspect the site and see if anyone has, by some chance, by some miracle, survived this catastrophic tragedy. But as of now, we do know that a court of inquiry has been ordered, and it will be led from Gandhinagar before figuring out just what happened.